Hey you! Today we're going to be talking about money. Mainly what I've done to save it up to get to Morphicon, some tips, everything that I can give you some information so that when you go to Morphicon or any other convention out there, you can either use these same techniques or you can go, I like that, but I'm going to do mine slightly different, but it gives kind of a baseline for it. In this video, we're going to be talking about how much will it cost, setting your goal, how do I save, best ways of savings, new bank account versus old bank account, tips on what to do, how much do I need to take, buying things and budgeting. And budgeting, damn, I have got a lot of stuff for this one. So I've got don't buy everything, keep money back, emergency money, buying more luggage, that is a thing. Yes, I will explain a story on that one. Setting things, YouTube, commissions, Redbubble. These may not apply to everything, but at least there are things that I kind of really want to talk about. We'll talk about how much this is going to cost. Now, I kind of briefly talked about this in the travel video, which obviously, if you're not, link will be at the very end in the description, as well as the end, one of the end cards. Now, for this trip is almost roughly cost me around about almost £2,000. So £800 is roughly just over $1,000. So you're looking at maybe $2,500. But the main thing is I've paid off the hotel and the flight, that was all done. That came to a pretty penny. And then now when it comes to the saving, this is where I kind of had to sit down and really play with it. So setting your goal. Normally when I come back from Morphicon or any other big convention around the world, I will say, do I want to go in the next one? Some conventions will be a year, some conventions will be 2 years. Hence Morphicon is every 2 years and it gives me enough time to save. Over the 2 years, I basically started putting money aside. Anything that I got, from Christmas presents to birthday presents to working to selling things, I would budget how much it is, and I'd keep a tally chart and say, this is how much money has been paid in, this is how much money I've got. I also set up a new PayPal and a new bank account because I knew that even if I put money into my savings, I could dip into it really easily and go, oh, do you know what, that £20 I might need, or that £50, oh, I need 100 this month. And then therefore, because I could be putting in and go, oh, I'll pay it back that month and be like, oh yeah, I need it. This way, when I opened up another bank account, I obviously had my card come through, but I didn't put a PIN number on it. I don't use it. I literally just put it in a drawer and that's it. But I have a PayPal link to it. So I set my goal. My goal was roughly around about £2,000. Obviously, I checked the flights to make sure how much they would roughly be. And then I was like, boom, that's how much I need to put into this month. And obviously, then I worked out spends. Now, spends at the moment of this video, I think £800 is roughly just over $1,000. And for 7 days, that should just be enough. Probably is more than enough than I'll need. But because I've got all these things coming up, like, and you might need emergency money. I might need something at the airport when I'm coming back, etc, etc. So there's tons of things that I kind of thought, this is what needs to happen and this is what's going to do. So the best way, once you've set your goal, is saying how much money do you want to put away. Now, roughly, I put £100 a month. Sometimes I would put more, sometimes I'd put less, just to make sure that there was money going in. I think the minimum I'd put in would be 50, and the maximum I'd put in is whatever I kind of wanted. How much that I could afford, that was either stuff that I'd be going out, I'd be buying things online, or whatever. That money would go straight into the bank account that I could say, I'm fine with this, that money is going to something better. Past Mark is going to love this, future Mark is going to be so happy. Let's just make sure that the money's there. So as I said, I opened up like a text document and I would say, has paid in X amount of money, and then I would have a total at the bottom. If I had anything extra, like Christmas present, or if I had something else like I am selling an item, I would put that money into a separate kind of line and say, this is how much this money would be, etc, etc. And then when you see that, you kind of get happy, like, yes, I've hit my goal. I've got enough money to survive. Yes, I am super happy. But then obviously you can add more, and anything more is a better thing. Best ways of saving. As I've mentioned before, having a separate bank account is a lifesaver. It also teaches you in a way to save money for other things. So if you're not just going to a convention and you're in this habit of putting money away each month, this is a really good way of saying, yes, I have willpower not to spend that money, or if you need to and you've not got money from your job or you've not got money in your bank account, that saving can be easily pay for it. If you need to pay for a car, if you need to pay for a repair, whatever, you know you've got some money saved away. And this is a very good way of like teaching yourself that you don't have to spend all your money as soon as you get it. You can save it for a rainy day or for something that you need. So when having this a separate bank account, again, the text document would have, and it would literally have, like, say, how much money the flights would be, how much money I've got, and then I would just add it all together. If, say, for example, I set the goal of just paying off the flights and the hotel, I would then, as soon as it's all paid off, take that money off the thing and then start another one saying, oh, funds, this is how much money, and then do the same thing. Paid in this amount, paid in this amount, paid in this amount. Even the small amount of 10p, 20p, you know, the change that you would normally get, that all adds up, and it makes things so much easier when you're going, oh wow, I know I've only put this amount in, but I can definitely see it's working and I'm gaining more and more. And it's a kind of an exciting thing, I think. It is for me anyway. Now, I'm not going to say don't buy the stuff that you want. I originally said that to myself. I'm not going to do that, but with stuff for the channel, as well as buying new equipment, buying stuff to review, I know that the money has gone up and down. If I had not bought any of the stuff over the last couple of years, boom, I probably would have had enough money to buy them anyway if I'd gone out to America or wherever. I know there are times when I've needed money, when I need to pay back a bill or something, and I don't have the amount that I need, because obviously I budget each month just to make sure that I've got it. I know that that money would be there. And obviously if I made a note saying, hey, I've taken out £20, £30, £100, I would make sure that I would put that back as soon as I can. So if it was the next month and I was paid a little bit more, then I knew that I could put that more back in there. But I have a note saying, hey, you've just paid such and such, or you've paid for this product, you need to put back that money so you're back on track. So then it would kind of equal itself out. As I mentioned before, I set up PayPal. So I'd send myself the money with a tag. So I'd say PMC funds, flight, or if I had to pay anything else out, I would then say, this is what it's for. So I was easy enough to go, oh yeah, that's what that transaction's for, and now it's absolutely fine. And it's also really nice to actually just send money and say, you've just received £35. If I sold anything as well, mainly that money would go straight to the Power Morphicon funds. So as soon as it hit my PayPal, I then send that over to the other one and say, £35 from card, or selling of card or figure to funds, and then that would be it. So I'd have a record of it, so I could easily go back. If I had to lend money out to someone, I'd put in their name, this is money to this, and send it, so I could go, oh yeah, that's the thing. So adding in, there have been times where I've wanted to buy something, an anime, a new video game, and I kind of realized that what I would do is I would wait for it. Either I'd wait for it to drop down in price, or I'd hold myself back, because majority of the time I could easily buy it much later on. I could look at different things. I could look at reviews and stuff and go, okay, I'm so glad that I didn't drop £50 on that game, etc, etc. There have been times where I've bought stuff and gone, oh, I kind of wish I didn't buy that. So this way is like, you kind of like restrict yourself from buying that whatever you want. It's a pain, but if you're saving to go to America, I would rather have more money to live, to actually eat, than to buy something that I could watch once and go, oh, it's on the shelf, or play a game, complete it, and then never touch it again, or trade it in. I knew that this would happen, so I had to really be harsh with myself. Also, a really good thing is looking and going, do I need this? Yes or no? Will I be using it in, say, 6 months' time, 3 weeks' time, whatever? If your answer is, I am not going to be needing that, or I will not be using that in 6 months, then just leave it for now. Buy it when you come back. Buy it while you're out there. Or if it's on sale, which if something does come on sale, then obviously, then buy it. If something's hard to get, I would say buy it. But make sure that if it's something common, nah, just literally save. That's it. You can either buy it later if your friend buys it, borrow it from them, look at reviews, whatever. As long as you can either say, do I really need this? And be, yeah, okay, then obviously buy it. If not, don't. At times when, if I didn't have enough money to put into my bank account from work, at the time, like when I first started this 2 years ago, there were times when I would get very little from work. So then all the figure reviews that I've done, I would look and go, do I actually need that? And sometimes the value, either I'd get the value back of how much I paid for it, or I'd find out that the price has doubled, has tripled. So therefore I'd say, I don't need this anymore. It's just in the box waiting to be put in the attic, or I don't really want this collection's finished, or I don't like this figure anymore. I'd put it on eBay, I'd put it on Facebook groups, and I'd literally go, this is how much. It'd take a little bit of time of researching how much the figure was, but then I was able to go, I don't need this. And if someone goes, I'll buy that for X amount, and I was like, yes, that money can go straight into the savings account and I'd be absolutely fine. So when looking about, if there are things that you don't particularly need, then obviously see if you can get rid of them. I'm not saying sell it all, but I'm just saying if you don't need this and you need the money more for saving for Morphicon or that other convention that you're going to, then obviously go, yeah, I can get rid of that. You can possibly get it again. It's not going to be hard to find, not unless it's a very rare item, but still it's the ability to go, I don't need this. And at the moment, I think on eBay, I've got a few things up, and in a few groups I've said, I don't need this. Like the Legacy collection. I started collecting the Legacy line back at Morphicon with Ninja Storm when it first came out in Wave 1. And then I was going to review it, but now I'm like, I'm not going to review it. And if I did, everyone's got it. So I'd rather sell the entire set of all that I've got, so I can actually put that back into America and go, cool, I can now eat. Eating is good, believe me, eating is very good. So let's move on to how much money should I take. This is kind of really up to you on how much you're going to do, but you have to kind of think on what is going to happen when you're out there. You know, you're going to be a very long way from home, so you kind of need to figure out little things. So I kind of like broke this down into a few subcategories, such as like food. So you're going to be going out every single night. You're going to be eating, ordering takeaway, or you're going to be spending time with friends. So obviously that sort of thing is you need to budget to actually say, how much money do I need to have each night, so that I can do stuff with my friends. Then you've obviously got drinks, tea, milk, alcohol. If you're old enough to drink, then obviously you're going to spend time with your friends at the bar, and sometimes hotel bars can be extremely expensive, not unless you're going to, like, say, a restaurant that's down the road, which then you can all enjoy a drink. Again, if you're old enough to drink, good. If you're not, then milk, tea, water, all that sort of stuff, make sure that you drink that. You've also got travel, as we mentioned before, Ubers, lifts, little things like that. Things to buy at the con, out and about. You know, if you're at the Disney walk, you've got all that. Little Tokyo, if you're going down to Hollywood, you've got all these things that you can buy. So again, you have to kind of budget in for it. Then again, you've got attractions. Disney tickets aren't cheap. They're like $150, $200, something like that, just to walk around the park and go on a few rides. You've also got Universal. Then obviously you've got food at the places that is really expensive. So these are things that you have to set a goal and saying, yeah, as I said, my goal was $1,000 because I know that I've taken that for 10 days. Now I'm going for 7 days. I should have enough for it. Now, me personally, I don't buy stuff from conventions that much, not unless something really stands out. I'm like, ooh, I kind of need that. Because most of the time I can either find it somewhere cheaper, or I can buy it online and have it delivered to my house and go, yeah, that's fine. Now that I've set my goal, I have my $1,000. What do I normally do? Now, if I want to buy something big, I'll normally buy it at the very end. Now, if you decide to go to Morphicon and the convention is at the end, you know that your big purchases are going to be there. If you want to go down to other places, the bigger stuff obviously will come much later. So I normally keep my big spend near to the end because I'm like, okay, cool, I've still got all this money. I'm able to buy gifts from friends, family, whatever. And then I'm not like, oh my god, I have no money. But I always make sure that I keep some, or I make the big purchases near the end. Now, things have slightly changed when I wrote this back in February. I was going to say that at the conventions you have con exclusives, but the way that Morphicon has done it quite recently is that you can buy the con exclusive straight away, so therefore you don't have to do it. If you haven't pre-booked and you can still get them, then obviously it's then walking up going, yeah, I'm going to buy that. So the con exclusives that I know of at the moment was the pop vinyl of the black and gold Megazord. Then obviously you had Lord Draken, and then you had Draken's chair. I bought the pop vinyl and the Draken's chair, and I've asked my friend to buy me a Lord Draken, which I'll give him the money when I see him. So obviously you've got your con exclusives. Then you also have your autographs. Now, I'm not much of an autograph person. The last time I got an autograph was from Ciara Hanna. But I got it from her, and I also had a photo shoot. So autographs can roughly start from, like, say, maybe $25 all the way up to maybe 100. I don't know. I've never really looked into the autographs. Some people charge 55. So if, say for example, you have like 100 rangers that you want to get all their autographs, then you have to look at how much money you're going to have to spend. It's going to be a lot. If there's only like 1 or 2, like for me, I will possibly only get maybe 1 or 2 again, Ciara Hannas. Some of the rangers that I've met in the past that I want, yep, I want your autograph. These are the things that I will kind of go, do I need the money for it? Yes or no? And if so, I'll go, cool, that's taken out of my budget. You also have artwork. Now, quite recently, I've been into a lot of artwork from the Ranger community. Last time I didn't really buy anything. I know that there are some possibly artwork that other people will do that I will have a look for and go, do you know what, I like that. Like this wall here, and then something over there later on is going to be decked out in the Boom Comics like posters, which I really liked. Very similar to like say this Iron Man. When I saw this, I wanted it. You know, obviously when it's like posters like this, I really enjoyed having them on my wall. So if I see stuff at Morphicon, that's what I'm going to buy. If it's not like ridiculously expensive, like $300-400 for a small print or something like this, but I would make sure that I have a lot. I know I really want to buy some of Ciara Hanna's artwork, so that's what I'm going to be doing. I'll probably buy like 1 painting and then ship it back, which again is going to cost more money. You also have like some of the toy figures out there. I'm a very big collector of the fig art, so there are some that I possibly would have missed. There's some that I may want to start collecting. You also have like say some of the legacy figures. Now over here I've still not been able to get the Dino Thunder cast or the Zeo figures, so I'm going to possibly get those. So again, more money. Then obviously you've got the comics. Now I'm a sucker for some of the variants, so I'll probably be picking up the ones that I wasn't able to get at like silly prices, but they'll probably be a decent price, or at least that con exclusive, because I'm hoping that Morphicon will have artwork like I picked up last time. So again, more stuff that way. Make sure that you budget, don't overspend. You know, if you see that item that you want, if it's from a dealer, then you know it's either going to be that sort of price all the time. If it's from a shop, you know it's going to be that price anyway. Have a think about it. Don't just go buy, 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 buy. Take a step back and go, do I need this? Do I want this? Then obviously if you want, go back and go, yeah, no problem, I want that. That's absolutely fine for me. And then happy Larry, you're okay on that. When it comes to autographs and photo shoots, now I've seen some of my friends say that they've spent a lot of money on something like, you know, an autograph or a photo shoot, or they've got like 20 photo shoots all lined up and then 100 autographs that they want to get. Again, budget, step back and go, have I got this ranger before? Do I want this autograph really? You know, is it your favorite ranger? If it's your full-on favorite ranger, then wholeheartedly go for it. But if it's something where like I just want an autograph or a photo shoot for the sake of it, think back. Can I afford this? Is this in my budget? Or if you've budgeted it well, go, yeah, I can afford 20 photo shoots and 100 autographs. Make sure that you've got enough to keep yourself going, rather than just be like, oh, I don't have any money at the end. If I've not talked about it, tips on what to do. For me, I generally put anything that I could aside. I would sell things. I would put Christmas and birthday money into it. I would get rid of a lot of things. And it's a really good way of kind of decluttering. If I wanted to take all my Blu-ray collection or some of my old game consoles to stores, like in the company we have like CEX and stuff like that, I could easily turn around and go, I want to get this. I may not get a lot for it, but I'd get money there and then, which means that I could easily put it away. If I got paid, I would obviously put money away that way. Most of the stuff like on YouTube and stuff, or if I had any commissions, the money from that would go into it because it's still helping the channel. Any tips I can say is just literally save, 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 save. Make sure that if you see something that you can get later on, get it later on. You don't have to do it straight away. Majority of the time is you're going to see it in America anyway, it's going to be cheaper. So let's talk about emergency money. Now, emergency money is something like you may keep just $100 back. This means that you might get something to eat at the airport. Now, for the past two times I've been at Morphicon, this has happened where I've had money, but then I've spent it on something that I didn't realize. And then when it came to the airport where I have nothing left and nothing in my bank account, or my bank account won't work over in America, I've sat there going, I'm really hungry. And when I get hungry, I get kind of not irritable, but I that's what I kind of focus on. Like, I need to get rid of this hunger. But what I would do is, like, I didn't have the money. Now I'm going to say, right, I'm going to make sure that I have at least $100 or $50 at the very end of the holiday, so that if everyone's getting one last meal together or everyone's getting snacks for the goddamn 12-hour flight. It's a long, boring ass flight. I would then go back and go, cool, I have snacks for the flight. I have this that I've done, or if I'm not falling asleep. Because I know airplane food is, it's a ball ache, isn't it? I really don't like airplane food at times. I've only ever had one really good meal on an airplane. Ever since then, it's all gone to pot. But with this, I'd make sure that I can take some snacks on the plane. I could have something in the airport, which I know I'm not going to need something, or I can buy drinks, like say water or something, for the flight there, for the flight back. So this kind of works really, really well. Buying more luggage, I've only really done this once, and it was when I think one of the Power Morphicons, I overbought a lot of stuff. I had the money to it. But it wouldn't go into a bag, and it was very, very frustrating. So Matt, who I'm going with on holiday again, his wife, or his girlfriend at the time, and now his wife, we went halves on a luggage set. We literally went down to Target and we bought the biggest or two biggest suitcases, or we bought like a triple set. I just wanted the big bag and she got the rest. And we literally, I think there in that luggage set, in case someone says, there was something like maybe there was 5 or 4 like pieces all together. So I went for the bigger one and said, you can have the rest because I know that that's what you want. So we bought that, and I was able to fit everything back in. And all I had to do was go onto the, I think it was British Airways we were flying with at the time. All I had to do was go on there and pay £12 extra for another bag, and everything was fine. And that was such a lifesaver. So if you are going to be buying more luggage, that you filled up your main luggage and you can't like get anything in there, then obviously go to Target or Walmart or Walgreens, whichever one, find like some luggage, buy it, put all your stuff in there, make sure it's fine, and then obviously go and check it in on the website and saying, yes, I'm adding one more bag, and then obviously pay whatever price, because it's a lot easier taking all your stuff onto the plane than shipping it and getting a customs charge or not getting it at all. So the next thing is your change. Now change is a pain. I have so many cents and quarters that I've had over the years that has just been in a drawer that I've not used. If you've still got it, or your change is being like you've got a ton of it left, either if you want to donate it to someone, if you want to spend it, whatever, try and get rid of your change, because I guarantee you, if you're not going back to the States for a very long time, that will stick in your house or wherever you are for a long, long time, and it is very, very kind of frustrating. So if you've got a lot of change at the end, either give it to your friends and say, I'm sorry for giving you this, but it's free money. If you want to give it to a charity, or if you want to spend it at the store, do it. Just make sure that you don't have too much change, because it's a ball ache to get rid of. So yeah, just kind of give it away. Give it to someone and say, it's you. It's the British gift that keeps on giving, our change. Let's kind of break down this video what I've kind of talked about. So first of all, set your goal. How much money are you going to need? As soon as you know that, boom, you'll be fine. Open up another bank account, attach PayPal to it, and send money across so you're not tempted to go out and buy stuff all the time. Just do that. That's what I would do. Any birthdays, Christmases, any gifts, any money that you can get, put it away. Make sure that you spend it so it's actually done properly, so you're not kind of like, gee whiz, I kind of need more money now. Don't go too crazy on what you want to spend. Set a budget. Make sure that you keep to that budget. If you want to say spend $100 per day, keep to that. At the end, if you say, okay, I've only spent $50 today, then you know you've got another $50 for the next day. So then you can go up to 150. Little things like that. You don't have to stick to it, but it does kind of help. Make sure that you know where your money's going. If you're going out for meals, make sure that you've got money for that. Don't go overboard with buying too much stuff at the convention or out and about. Again, you don't have to take these. I'm not telling you how to do it. This is just from my experience on what I've done and what I've had in the past. If you're at the convention and you want to buy photo shoots, more con exclusives, loads of little things like that, make sure that you know how much money it roughly is, and make sure that you've budgeted. So like you're stressing out, what do I do? If you know what you've got and how much money that you have spent, then you should be fine. Don't make this stressy, make this a perfect holiday. And there we go. That is pretty much everything that I can really think of with money. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll try and answer them, and I'll also make a follow-up video near the end when these videos are out. As I said, like when it comes to money and stuff, I'm not telling you how to spend your money. That's up to you. If you want to like just listen to the advice and then do what you own, that's absolutely fine. I'm just kind of giving it my kind of experience to you guys, because I know what it's like when you're in another country and you're like, what do I do? You know, I'm running out of money. You're freaking out. It's not a great thing. This is kind of like the video breakdown that I wanted to do for this one. Again, if you've got any more questions, link them in the comments down below. I keep saying description. Link them all down in the comments below and I'll help answer them. And again, I'll do a follow-up video when this is all done. So Rangers, your question today is, are you going to follow the advice? Has this advice been good for you? Is this something that you really want to do later on? Or, you know, do you just like this series of videos where I'm just giving my advice? Let me know down below in the comments and also add those questions in. If you've liked this video, like, favorite, comment, and consider subscribing. Check out all the other videos on the channel if you want to help out the channel on Patreon. Link is in the description down below. And as always, Rangers, thanks for watching and I'll see you tomorrow.